Let's move on let's go to the SEC.
Okay.
Because there was a handful of interesting results here that I think are actually good for the league. If the goal is to get as many teams as possible into the NCAA tournament. Unranked Arkansas beat number 15 Missouri. Unranked Oklahoma beat number 21 Mississippi State. And unranked Vanderbilt beat number 24 Ole Miss. So you have 3 ranked SEC teams that are all safely in the field.
Mm-hmm.
And they provide big wins for teams that are either just on the right side of the bubble or just on the wrong side of the bubble. And I don't think Jerry Palm will update his bracket until Monday morning. So we'll take a look at that. But I was earlier watching the Memphis Florida Atlantic game, and they did have Joe Lunardi on at halftime. And he said right now he would put 13 SEC teams in the NCAA tournament. So not just breaking that Big East record, but breaking it by multiple teams.
Which result? Vandy 77, Ole Miss 72, Oklahoma 93, Mississippi State 87, Arkansas 92, Missouri 85. Which of those 3 stands out, means the most to you?
I guess because Missouri had been really good.
Yes.
I mean, really good. Home, away.
Yeah.
I know Arkansas has been better since Cal won at Kentucky, and I know the number was very small either way. So it wasn't a shocking the result, but Missouri had looked like the type of team that can go in there and win that game. And instead Arkansas wins it and either, like you said, gets just on the right side of the bubble or very, they're right there. They're in play. Like, do you think John's going to get Arkansas? Yes. It looks like he might. He might.
I agree with you. I think Arkansas is the most significant of all of them because I thought Missouri was one more win. And Mizzou fans, I hear you. Like, we didn't get enough into your game on Friday because you had played Wednesday. But you've done a tremendous job. And I thought that you were one more win in this spot from really, like, maybe they would have been top 10 in the AP rankings with a refresh on Monday with this win here. And Dennis Gates, like, he's pulling off. I did a thing in the court report like a month ago. There's never been a team that went winless in a league and subsequently gone on to have a better seeding ever than what Missouri's going to do. So he's doing wonderful things and, is near the top of the list for Coach of the Year. But for Arkansas to get this one, I think they're going to get in, and it's going to avoid catastrophe for Arkansas, which is a good team, but still underachieving what we had in the preseason. Real quick in the other ones, Oklahoma just needed it, man. They had Mississippi State, a ranked team, on their floor. Fears just went off, and he can be such a joy to watch. Maybe doesn't get talked about quite enough in a year where there's just so many good freshmen. He's tremendous. He was doing things that were last seen in Oklahoma when a dude named Trae Young was in a new uniform. So noted on that. And then Vanderbilt, I just think getting the home win over Mississippi is going to get them in the field. Like, they're obviously trending toward it, but I wanted to see it one more time in Nashville. Good team, going to have a single-digit seed. Can you go in and take care of your business? They got it done. Who didn't get it done is Texas on the road. And, yeah, if you want to have the Longhorns in the field for now, that's fine. They lose at South Carolina, which is the worst team in the SEC. They have time to, fix up their mess, but Texas is just up and down, up and down, up and down. That's a problem. And then real quick elsewhere in the SEC, Georgia continues to slide. Now, it was at Auburn. I get it. They actually made it a competitive game, and I was able to watch a lot of that one. But you still got to get the wins. Like, at some point, you got to get the wins. Georgia's running out of room there. And then Alabama and Tennessee getting the win. Bama beating Kentucky. Kentucky, frankly, I just don't have a lot to say about that game because Bama should beat Kentucky at home, and Kentucky doesn't have its top 3 guard options. And that was the case there. And the Crimson Tide, they get right. They get to 96. Totally understand, totally get that. And then I watched all of the Tennessee and A&M game because I was at the airport when that was going down. And I expected Tennessee to win. And just the way they did. And Lanier was tremendous as well. And, Tennessee's a 1 seed, folks. I don't know if they're going to stay there, but right now Tennessee has undisputed resume qualities to be a 1 seed. In fact, I have not seen your top 25 in 1GP. Do we agree? Do you have Tennessee as a 3 or 4 overall in your rankings? Because I don't think it's arguable from a resume standpoint at this point.
I think it's definitely arguable.
Oh.
Well, first off, Auburn is inarguable. That's the number 1 seed. And
Duke
by the way,
inarguable.
Right. Let's not get bored with them, by the way. 82-70 over Georgia. Janai Broome. Janai 31-14.
I know. You're totally right. You're totally right on that. Yes.
Yeah. So, let's not get bored with them. They are on their way to winning the toughest league in the history of the sport by multiple games, probably. And that is why SEC fans can talk about Dennis Gates, who's been incredible this season. Todd Golden, who has another team that I think so once. If Bruce Pearl wins the SEC by multiple games, he has to be the SEC Coach of the Year. I don't care how much anybody else over.
I know. I agree with you.
Okay. So Auburn and Duke, right? That's 2-1 seeds. Like,
yes.
Nobody's debating that.
Yes.
After that, I think it's Florida.
Yes.
And after that, I have Alabama.
I have Tennessee. Tennessee right now is third in KPI, fourth in wins above bubble. It's close, but I think they've got it there. Their metrics with Bama predictive are also better. Do you have Tennessee 5?
I have Tennessee 6 behind Houston. But I'm looking at it here. Tennessee and Alabama, both 9 and 5 in quadrant 1. So identical, not identical, because we can break it down if you want to, but broadly speaking, both 9 and 5 in quadrant 1. Tennessee only has 3 quadrant 2 victories. Alabama has 7. So Alabama in the first 2 quadrants, and we're just boring you with number now, as I know, but 16 and 5 in the first 2 quadrants, whereas Tennessee's 12 and 5. And if you go and find Florida, they don't have as many quadrant 1 wins, but they also have 2 fewer losses than Tennessee does. So is it?
All right, it's compelling.
It's debatable.
Win over Houston. These teams haven't faced each other, by the way. They play next Saturday. Tennessee gets the game at home. That's the only time Bama and Tennessee are scheduled to play. So I might have been too aggressive there, GP.
Yeah, but here's what we can agree on. Right now, it feels to me like Auburn, Duke, Florida, Alabama, Houston, Tennessee have sort of separated a little bit. Those might end up being the top 6 on the seed line. At least I think they would be right now in some order. Maybe you've got Tennessee higher than I've got Tennessee, but in some order, that should probably be the top 6.
Real quick,
and by the way, I'm just looking at the net. It is literally the top 6 of the net right now, just in a different order.
Before we go to the next league, just last question. The Tennessee Bama neutral court tomorrow, middle of South Dakota, whatever.
Yeah.
I would trust Tennessee more in that game. Would you as well?
I think you can reasonably trust Tennessee more because they're bringing that defense to the table. That's showing up. Whereas with Alabama, what do you know is actually going to be there every day?
I mean, they'll have a high gear to score at a quick rate, but the defense is good, not great. It's inconsistent. It's a good team. Don't get me wrong.
I have them as one.
Alabama can win the national championship. I want to be clear about that. I would put them on the list of teams that I think that can do that. But to me, Chaz Lanier and Zakai Ziegler are more reliable game by game players than Mark Sears and pick the other guy. You want to have it be Aiden Holloway. You want to have it be Cliff Amore, Jaron Stevenson, LeBaron Philon. I think they're starting 5 overall. And let me be clear about this. I'm not trying to make this a this or that. I just popped in mind. Very, very good team. I would have Tennessee a notch above Bama right now. And you're talking to a guy who had Bama as the preseason number 1 team in the country.
Right. So I'm close. They're comparable teams. Very comparable. Different, but comparable in terms of ability, accomplishments, all that stuff.